During the day, she's the CEO of a modeling agency, but at night, she turns into a ruthless killer. She only hunts men and her methods are extremely brutal. However, she only targets those who have hurt women, like rapists. Now, imagine someone gave you 10 billion yen, what would you do with that kind of money? The story begins in the winter of 2010, in Washington, D.C. Marimi, a 22-year-old from Japan, was on her graduation trip from university. She arrived at the White House, a place she had always dreamed of visiting. Marimi wanted to toss a coin into the fountain to make a wish, but she was suddenly mistaken by police officers as a suspicious person. They believed she had malicious intentions. Just then, a naked man waving a gun appeared at the scene. It turns out that, just 5 minutes earlier, this man had been brainwashed by a mysterious voice. Losing all of his memories, he saw Marimi being questioned by the police, and, out of goodwill, decided to draw their attention away. To help her out of the situation, kind-hearted Marimi noticed that he wasn't wearing any clothes. So she lent him her hat, scarf, and coat. The two parted ways shortly after, and the man began his journey to recover his memory. He opened a strangely designed phone, hoping to find some clues, but the contact list was completely empty. The only person he could reach was a receptionist named Jules. Jules told him that he himself had activated the memory wipe program. Before doing so, he also left his home address with Jules, so that Jules could direct his future amnesiac self back there. Meanwhile, Marimi realized her wallet and passport were in the coat she lent him. She rushed to find the man so she could retrieve her passport. Following Jules's directions, the man soon returned to the apartment he had once lived in. To his shock, he discovered a closet full of weapons and ammunition, as well as numerous fake passports, all with his face on them. Everything suggested that he might have been a terrorist. At that moment, Marimi showed up. After learning she was flying back to Japan that very day, he chose the fake passport that matched him best, and took on the identity of Akira. Together with Marimi, he boarded a flight back to Japan to search for his past. Along the way, Akira came across as witty, charming, and charismatic. Marimi felt an instant connection with him, though they had just met. The two flew back to Japan side by side. At the time, Japan was facing serious unrest. 3 months earlier, terrorists had launched 10 missiles across the country. Miraculously, no one was killed in the attacks, but soon after, 20,000 shut-ins mysteriously vanished. As soon as they landed, Akira received a call from Jules. Jules informed him that he was now within the system's active range. From now on, he could issue commands at any time. Then Jules reminded Akira of his account balance, 2 billion yen. Akira was baffled by all of this. To test what Jules had said, he gave a command for help getting out of the airport, and sure enough, in under 5 minutes, someone came to pick him up. To uncover more about his past, Akira decided to visit the address listed in the passport, but since he didn't know the way, he asked Marimi to accompany him to Toyosa Pier. However, each time Akira gave a command through Jules, it not only deducted money from his balance, but also alerted others who had the same special phone. And just like that, Akira faced his first enemy. Number 4, the savior, Detective Kondo. It turns out, they had all been drawn into a game to save Japan. A mysterious figure known only as Mr. Outside selected 12 individuals nationwide, each one given a special phone loaded with 10 billion yen. These saviors could spend the money however they liked, and could also command the AI assistant Jules to carry out any request. But if any savior misused the funds for selfish gain, ignoring their mission to save the country, once their balance hit zero, a hidden supporter among the 12 would appear to eliminate them. In the end, only the first person to successfully complete their mission would survive. Which means, once someone wins, the other 11 will die. And the amnesiac Akira, he is number 9 among the saviors. In the early hours of the morning, Akira and Marimi arrived at the address shown on the passport. To their surprise, it turned out to be a massive department store. Akira instinctively pulled out a key and opened the door. Then he walked right in. It turned out the entire building had once been purchased by Akira himself. He even kept a small dog there. Led by the dog, Akira found his private room. He then invited Marimi to watch a movie in his private theater. But just then, Savior No. for Kondo showed up. Through Jew eyes, Akira found out that Kondo had already spent all of his money. Akira tried to negotiate and propose a partnership, but Kondo knocked him to the ground instead. and stole Akira's phone. Kondo attempted to transfer Akira's remaining 8 billion yen into his own account. Akira was too weak to fight back, so he quietly stole Kondo's police badge while he wasn't looking. Meanwhile, Marimi finished the movie and was preparing to leave. Before she left, she wrote a note and placed it on the dog. Kondo, thrilled with the phone in hand, texted his mistress, asking to meet, but to his dismay, he found that the transfer required Akira's fingerprint. Then, he received a phone call from Akira. Akira used the stolen police badge as leverage to arrange a meeting, but when Kondo arrived at the meeting spot, his wife suddenly appeared and stabbed him with a fruit knife. By the time Akira got there, Kondo was on the brink of death. It turned out, Kondo had accidentally sent the message meant for his mistress to his wife instead, which drove her into a jealous rage. Before dying, Kondo confessed that, in his memory, Akira had been extremely dangerous before losing his memories. The 20,000 missing people were rumored to have been lured outside Akira's building and blown up. Kondo always suspected Akira was actually the hidden supporter among the 12. After Kondo's death, Akira discovered a mountain of cell phones in the department store. This made him start to believe Kondo's theory. In order to recover more of his memories, Akira decided to seek out the other saviors. The first one he found was Savior No. 5 Hajime. He was a neurosurgeon from Hajime. Akira learned that, before erasing his memory, he had spent 2 billion yen to purchase the department store and 500 offshore shipping containers. It seemed he had been planning something massive, but on that very day, Hajime had just used up all 10 billion yen. He spent it all on upgrading medical equipment for the elderly. Even though Hajime knew he had broken the rules of the game and would soon be killed, he had no regrets. Akira was full of admiration for him. He believed Hajime was the true savior. Shortly after Akira left, the supporter found Hajime with the deaths of Savior No. 4 and No. 5. The story cut to Savior No. 11 Kuroha. She was the CEO of a male modeling agency, but by night, she hunted men. It was said she had already killed 20,000 men, but every one of them had abused or hurt women. That day happened to be Marimi's job interview. Satoshi, who had always secretly liked her, offered to accompany her. When Marimi nervously arrived at the interview location, she quickly realized the interviewer had no intention of hiring her. During her previous interview, Marimi had missed it due to an accident. To get revenge, the interviewer deliberately made her wait in the cafeteria for an hour, and then dumped beef rice all over her. Heartbroken, Marimi left the building. Right as she walked out, she ran into Akira. At the same time, Satoshi happily came to pick up Marimi for dinner, only to find she had already left with Akira. Marimi was crushed by the failed interview. She desperately wanted a job, so she could finally move out of her current home. Her parents had died when she was very young. She had been living with her sister ever since, but over time, she realized she had fallen for her brother-in-law. Akira quietly listened to her story, found her incredibly endearing, and gently kissed her. He promised to take care of everything for her. He told her she could move in with him for now. Meanwhile, Satoshi, disappointed that he couldn't meet Marimi, was drinking alone, but just as he walked out of the restaurant, Savior No. 11 Kuroha suddenly appeared behind him. Meanwhile, Marimi brought a group of her college clubmates, all of them talented but with nowhere to apply their skills, to Akira's home. They had developed a powerful web program called East Eden. Its core feature, simply upload a photo of any object, and it would instantly retrieve all related information. Akira didn't want to see their talent go to waste, so he decided to fund their operations to run East Eden. Just like that, they became business partners. Akira's department store now became their startup headquarters. One of the team members, Kasuga, while searching for Satoshi, discovered an alarming post on an internet forum, a cry for help made by Satoshi 18 hours ago. Turns out, after Kuroha captured Satoshi, she hadn't killed him right away, because she got sidetracked by other matters. Satoshi seized the chance, snapped a few pictures of his surroundings with his phone, and posted an SOS online. Soon after, another photo appeared on the forum. It showed a piano. The team used the East Eden system and quickly identified the piano as an extremely rare model. Only a few existed in the entire country. Akira, upon hearing this, rushed out to find Satoshi with the help of the AI Ju-eyes. He quickly located the piano inside a luxury hotel suite that had long been rented by Savior No. 11, Kuroha. At that moment, Kuroha was already on her way back to the hotel. Akira immediately asked Ju-eyes to intercept her en route, but Kuroha, realizing Akira's plan through her phone, ordered Ju-eyes to stage a tanker truck accident and successfully delayed him. Back at the hotel, Kuroha decided it was time to execute the man lying on the floor, Satoshi, but just then, Akira arrived in the nick of time. Kuroha told him that long before she became a savior, she had already begun hunting down men. She had no interest in winning the savior game. She simply wanted to carry out justice in her own way. Akira figured she must have been hurt deeply by a man and tried to comfort her, but the next moment, he lost consciousness. Just then, Marimi also arrived. But in truth, Kuroha wasn't a monster. She was tending to Akira's wounds. The man she captured wasn't Satoshi, but a rapist. After that, Kuroha simply flew away. Suddenly, Akira's phone buzzed with a message. Everything that had just happened was a hallucination created by Ju-eyes. As for Satoshi, he had just been too hungover to answer his phone, and had lost both his briefcase and his phone, which ended up in the hands of that same rapist. Meanwhile, Akira decided to have Savior No. for Kondo's phone repaired, hoping to view the mission logs that other saviors had issued to Ju-eyes and uncover their secrets. Upon everyone's recommendation, he reached out to a genius programmer named Yuki. Yuki had once developed a computer capable of predicting the future, but when it predicted that he'd spend the next few decades stuck indoors, he became disheartened and decided never to go outside again. Still, he had been secretly investigating the mysterious disappearance of 20,000 hikikomori shut-ins. The deeper he dug, the more he uncovered about the savior game. So when he learned that Akira was Savior No. 9, he immediately agreed to help repair and decrypt Kondo's phone. During the process, Yuki also sorted through Akira's past activity logs and discovered Akira wasn't a terrorist at all. In fact, he had once saved the country during the earlier terror attack. There were no casualties because Akira had warned the 20,000 shut-ins, who disguised themselves as police officers, to help evacuate the area under the pretense of an earthquake. And the reason those 20,000 hikikomori vanished was because Akira, fearing they'd be arrested for impersonating police, secretly arranged for them to be sent overseas for work. Just then, Yuki made a shocking discovery. 3 months ago, the person who launched the missile attack on Japan was none other than Savior No. 10 Tatazu. Before Akira left, he vowed to win this game and personally take down the mysterious game creator known as Mr. Outside. Through further investigation, Yuki confirmed that Savior No. 1 Daiju and Savior No. 2 Suji were also involved in the terror attacks. And even worse, they were planning to launch 60 more missiles at Japan. Yuki dashed out of his house, desperate to warn Akira, but the next second, he was hit by a car, driven by none other than Savior No. 1 Daiju. Luckily, before leaving his house, Yuki had already uploaded all the critical data to the East Eden servers. Meanwhile, Akira received a phone call from Daiju. Daiju invited him to meet in person, promising to reveal the whole truth, including the reason Akira erased his own memories before boarding Daiju's helicopter. Akira left his call with Marimi connected. He wanted her to hear the truth too. Daiju, once a government official, had used his power to uncover the true identity of Mr. Outside. He discovered that Mr. Outside was actually a powerful tycoon who, at the start of the Savior game, had already been diagnosed with terminal cancer and was likely dead by now. Mr. Outside had spent his final days in a private research facility, the very same place where the AI Ju-eyes was developed. Not long ago, Daiju managed to infiltrate that facility, planning to take over Ju-eyes and terminate the game, but ending the game wouldn't magically fix Japan. So he and Savior No. 10 Tatazu planned to launch 60 missiles across the country the next morning at 8 a.m. Daiju then invited Akira to join them, to become part of their grand plan to rebuild the nation. The reason Daiju chose this path was because he had grown utterly disillusioned with Japan. Today, most of the country's wealth and resources are held by a small elite. No matter how hard young people work, They can't break through the system, so they've simply stopped trying. That's why the number of hikikomori, shut-ins, has skyrocketed. As for Tatazu, his parents had died from overwork, and despite years of effort, he was constantly looked down on and ignored, so he came to despise the world. In his rage, he blew through all 9 billion yen to orchestrate the destruction of the current system, planning to start a new world from scratch with his 60-missile strike. Then they revealed the truth behind Akira's amnesia. After he saved the public, the very people he helped turned on him. Swayed by online rumors and slander, even the 20,000 hikikomori he sent abroad for safety and work didn't understand his intentions and began to hate him. Akira had to carry all that resentment and betrayal alone. Eventually, he chose to erase his memories to escape the pain, but even after learning the truth, Akira refused to join them. Marimi immediately called her classmates, asking for their help to support Akira. Akira brought back the 20,000 hikikomori to the mall. They searched through piles of phones, trying to find their own. Chaos broke out inside the mall. Just then, Akira initiated a video call to all their phones via JUIs. He declared he was launching another missile strike on Japan, and that anyone who wanted to live should gather on the rooftop. He and Marimi went there together, but in truth, Akira had already devised a missile defense plan. He used JUIs to distribute the entire strategy to all 20,000 phones. He gave each of them a role in saving the country, putting their brains and talents to good use. At 8 a.m., Daichu's 60 missiles were launched right on schedule, but in response, Akira's team launched 60 interceptor missiles of their own and successfully stopped the attack mid-air. Once again, Akira chose to save the world instead of saving himself, and in the end, he asked JUIs to once again erase his memories.